welcome YouTubers to a very special second installment of FAQ You here with Uncle Ben and good old Commander Andy Wood here. I originally intended for this just to be a special one-off thing, but you guys had so many great questions, and we got some pretty good answers for you guys on everything ranging from guitar to video games to all kinds of good things. So we decided to split this into 2 installments, so thank you guys for tuning in.
Don't call it a comeback.
Okay, this next question here comes from Ian Humphreys, and it's kind of like the gear nerd equivalent of the Pepsi-Coke war that plagued our childhood. He asks, why Kemper over Axe-FX? Now this is a cool question because I myself am a Kemperman and you are an Axe-FX-man.
It's a great question. As long as you don't play the Line 6 Helix, it doesn't matter. No, I am completely joking.
No.
Like, I swear to God, it's great too. So let's expand on what he said.
Yeah.
And put Helix in there.
Yeah, yeah. The RC Cola.
It is RC Cola, but I feel like it's got its things together as far as being a very legitimate competitor.
Yeah, absolutely so.
And I think leading this answer, I will say competition is great because the winner is the consumer. Because as they have to battle it out for best,
we get better products.
Yeah, we get better products.
That's a great way to put it.
I would say that, in all honesty, any one of those 3 can get you album quality, like record your album and make your statement musically. Like, I would say just from a pure statistical standpoint and like more like a specific gear answer, the Axe-FX has more horsepower in the effects side.
It does.
And that's not an opinion of tone sounds better, like because that I'm just saying it has a dedicated CPU to where it can like put like 42 or something delays on top of each. It can it has a CPU just for effects. Like, I feel like if you're trying to recreate Ed's unlawful carnal knowledge tone, like you want the Axe-FX because there was so much eventide stuff on that record.
Right. Same with some of the Vice stuff.
Right. I think where a Kemper might be have its shining moment in the sun would be if your best buddy has a 1963 deluxe reverb, as I do, and you don't have one.
I don't have
and you wanted to come over here and what do they call it?
Profile it. Profile it.
Yeah.
Make a clone of it, put it in my box.
Yeah, so that's where it's got a great thing going for it.
I see a lot of pro musicians that are taking their at-home amp collections that are worth hundreds of thousands. Yeah, and instead of taking those priceless antiques on the road, they just profile them. That way there's not so much risk involved and they can still have the tones that they want.
It's incredible. One of my favorite guitar players is Jimmy Olander from Diamond Rio. And he's always played like, he's a telly player with benders, and he's always played like Matshelses and really great amps. And now he's just got Kemper.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, he used Kemper last time I saw him.
Amazing tones.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you can get, here's my thing about the 2 is like, you can get incredible tones out of either one. I've recorded extensively with the Axe-FX, gotten great tones out of it. I've recorded extensively with the Kemper. You can get great sounds out of either one.
Man, you can get great sounds out of a $90 microcube.
Yeah,
like exactly, if you can't get good tone, it's not because it's not affordable.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. You know, I would say for me, whereas the Axe-FX has the edge in terms of the effects processing and stuff like that, I think with the Kemper, as long as you have some decent profiles loaded up on it, you can get a good sounding tone extremely fast.
Yeah, as long as you're not needing to do that edge thing, which is funny because I don't do that. That's not my kind of music. Like, I'm not even scratching the surface of the processing horsepower. I'm just saying for guys that get off on that.
Oh yeah.
Man, these things are like splitting hairs.
Yeah, it really is.
And the Helix is really great. Like, I know like
John Brown,
like there's some really great demos of it just sounding amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I think from what I've heard is a lot of people really like they like its interface. Yeah. I've not messed with it, but that's what some very trusted friends of mine say.
That's what I like about the Kemper is because it has, you know, just a face full of buttons. There's not a lot of scrolling through submenus. It's I want to adjust this, hit that button. I want to adjust this, turn that knob. Now, the cool thing is with the Axe-FX, as long as you have the Axe-Edit software, that's a breeze.
Yeah, so having Axe-Edit software and not having it, oh, that's a major league difference.
It is.
Major league difference.
I do find to me the biggest fault of the Axe-FX is if you are dialing in a tone on the face of the unit,
there's
you're
a lot of this
sub-menuing your ass off.
What I would like to see eventually would be maybe, you know how the Behringer, the boards, the X32s have the mix where it's like you can have your own mix on your iPhone.
Oh yeah.
Or like iPad or whatever. Mm-hmm. I would like to see Axe-FX do an app.
That would completely make sense. Yeah.
Because then it turns then it turns into that thing. And I think doing this even on a small screen would be better than
beep, boop.
But with that said,
I just think the best way to summarize is you can get amazing tones out of either unit. If you're a quick plug-in and play guy, the Kemper might be more for you. If you're a deep digging guy that wants to tweak every last aspect of your tone and effects, the Axe-FX is probably more for you. But you can get amazing tones out of either one. They're both fabulous units. Okay, Eric Sell asks, have you guys influenced each other in some way with technique or gear, i.e. will Ben ever switch to single coil?
When he grows up.
One day. No, actually, you know what? I have 2 guitars with singles now. I have my Ibanez Talman and I have that G&L Strat that have singles, and I love them. I love them very, very much. I think the way we've influenced each other the most is in our vocabulary.
Oh my God.
Verbally, more than musically.
We say the same stuff all the time.
Sick rig.
Yeah.
so much of that stuff that's just rubbed off. Like literally anything is a rig.
Yeah.
Like here's these question rigs.
Yeah.
Everything is a rig. Yeah. You got me hooked on Hagen.
Yeah, Hagen. That's me and Travis Toy. We used to, like, if anybody is playing really great, they're really hogging that thing.
Hogging down.
It's also a term for making love. You get to hogging that thing a little bit. I'd also say hogging would be like really enjoying your meal at a buffet at maybe a CC's Pizza.
It's like a state of extreme excellence in any way.
As far as musically, I think you can't really play music with anybody on any kind of regular basis and not have an influence.
Yeah, absolutely so. Something's gonna rub off whether you want it to or not. I mean, any of the stupid redneck shit that I've done on like Weekend Wank Shop or any cover videos or anything like that, it's all directly from hearing you do your ridiculous redneck stuff and like Travis Toy doing the same stuff as well. So that's definitely, I think, a huge way that playing together has influenced me. It's gotten me into all that honky tonking.
Yeah, honky tonking. For me, it's I don't know if influence is the right word. It is, but it's like, I guess, put a finer point on it. It's when I'm in a creative state, whether that be putting a show together, or song selection, or working on writing a new song or anything like that. Having someone with a completely different origin point of music is really great to have as your bouncing ball. Like I would never want, for as brilliant as say my cousin is on the fiddle, like creating, we come from the same place.
Yeah.
So it would not
hear the same things in it.
Right. It's like I don't want to create with someone who comes from the same point of view.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you've worked with Mark Lewis and all these guys on this metal stuff. It's like it gives me a great return when I throw the ball against the wall because I'm not getting what I think it is.
It's not an echo chamber, in other words.
Exactly, for sure.
Cody B. Schofield asks, why are you guys so awesome? How did you guys get so awesome?
Proudly endorsed by Monster.
Me, I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good question from Coda with the hair. How did you guys assign guitar parts / decide who plays which part in Skankbanger? Now, for you guys that don't know, Andy and I played together in an 80s hair metal cover band called Skankbanger, which will be invading a town near you and bothering your mother and your sister sometime here really soon. And it's a 2-guitar band, and that's kind of a good question. So I would say that how we ended up deciding who plays what is because Skankbanger was a band, what, 5 or 6 years ago? You guys had done this.
5 years ago.
Yeah, without me in the picture. So whenever I came into the fold for this iteration of the band, it was like, I'll just play whatever part you don't already know. You know? Or if we added new songs in and I knew the solo, well, hell, I'll just play the solo.
Yeah, and so like back then, I just used to shred it up on like the outro to Night Train.
Yeah.
Well, what now? It's like with 2 guitar players, you can have...
Yeah.
You can split that up.
Epic
and like,
duels.
Yeah, epic duels. Anytime we can get epic duels, that's what we go for.
Yeah.
When there's a very unquotable solo and it's just like playing,
yeah,
like just hogging,
yeah,
like I'll take one in one song, and if I take that one, Ben will take the next song that has the unquotable action or unquotable solo.
A lot of times too, it's a matter of like if somebody has a particularly cool pose or like split kick they want to do, it's like I'm gonna drop out on this part so you take over.
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna split kick here, so you make sure you're playing the part.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, in a lot of those like Bon Jovi tunes, there's a lot of keyboards and stuff. So it's
we're splitting that up.
Yeah, so
I do more of the keyboards in like Living on a Prayer.
Yeah,
and you do more of the keyboards in one of them. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. So it's a little bit of mix of that stuff too. Roger 1000 asks, "Do you really love me?"
Nope. It was one night and I needed the money.
So the next question here comes from Barry Max, who I assume is counterpart to Barry Minimum. He asks, "What got you into Suhr guitars? We do like ourselves a Suhr around these parts."
Was mine the first Suhr you played?
Yeah, it was actually. Actually, I think it was at that Down From Up show that we talked about earlier. You had your red one, I think.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. I picked it up and played it, and I was like, God diggity damn, this is a guitar.
It's a good guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a Tom Anderson man for many years, and I still own a Tom Anderson guitar.
They make a fine guitar.
Oh, they do. But I was really into the idea of a 24 fret guitar, and this is before Suhr had released their modern. And it was getting ready to come out, and I'd sniffed around and got some rumors, and I got hooked up with them. So that's how I got exposed to fantastic company.
Yeah.
And I've been with them so long, and I've played their instruments, and I've been so fortunate to like help design instruments.
Yeah.
Which is like
got a couple of signature rides. But yeah, your Suhr was the first one that I played, and like I said, I loved it. I was blown away by it.
Was it this one?
I think it was. I think it was.
Was it that one?
Maybe this fine looking ride right here.
I think it was that.
Is it this one or like the red grip that you have? I can't remember. I really started getting into the company whenever we went out and played our first Suhr artist party, which I think was 2015. It was the first time I played with you. You played a couple before. Every year around NAMM, Suhr hosts like an artist party where they have their players
at
and
their
stuff
factory.
come out. Yeah, at the factory.
And a lot of stuff's on YouTube, which is cool.
Yeah, you can find a bunch of stuff of us horsing around at the Suhr parties and stuff if you search on here. But whenever we went out there to the factory in Lake Elsinore, California, I was just blown away by how awesome everybody working there was. Everybody was so helpful and personable and knowledgeable too, dude. Like, I swear, you could find the guy sweeping the floor and be like, "Hey, what's the radius on this?" And he'd take a look at it and be like, "Yeah, it's compound. It's like 14 to 18. Like, everybody there knows everything about everything.
John has a team of people, and he himself and his son Kevin, and the people there have such a high expectation of their own quality of content that like that's what results in what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like if John hears about somebody picking up a guitar and like a string, a fret buzzing or anything like in the factory, he will stop. I've seen him do it. Like stop what he's doing and take it down and be like, "Why is this?" It kills him.
Wow.
And
uncompromising commitment to quality
and that's the
perfection.
thing. And the result is really great amps, really great pedals, a lot of great innovation too, like reactive load and some of that stuff. Like
really amazing guitars made by awesome people with a super uncompromising idea of tone and quality and value. Really amazing people. Suhr guitars are where it's at.
Yeah, for sure.
Andy, this question comes from XX No Religion XX.
Woo! Gangster.
Somebody's parents are pissed. This is a good question. What are your favorite soundtracks? Movies, video games, anything. So of a video game soundtrack, what's a favorite for you?
Man, the Halo 2 soundtrack.
Okay.
Several reasons. It's a brilliant theme, and Mr. Steve Vai did the intro.
I heard that. My real dad.
Cool. Yeah. So that was a really good one. I really like a lot of the classic Nintendo stuff. The Mega Man's.
I was gonna say, what do you think about a Mega Man 2?
Legend of Zelda.
Oh, like, magical soundtrack. Yeah.
So with movies, anything from Hans Zimmer, John Williams, or Danny Elfman.
Any particular flicks?
I mean, freaking Star Wars. Like, come on.
I've heard of that one.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's a great soundtrack in that one.
Here's my oddball. Days of Thunder.
Age like 9 or 10 with a mullet, just being like, "This is the best."
I mean, like that, and like, of course, you know,
you're
like,
not gonna beat that.
Yeah, Top Gun's great.
Steve Stevens played
that.
that.
It's super good. But like, I actually like more of the orchestral stuff, like what's the movie where the two chicks drive the car off the
Thelma and Louise?
Yeah, that theme is great. That's a Hans Zimmer theme. It's really good. And the another great Hans Zimmer one is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, unforgettable theme.
Yeah, it's really good.
So
Harry Potter. That theme's
great soundtracks. Yeah.
Yeah, so we could actually eat up the next half hour just talking about that.
Yeah, no doubt.
What about you?
So when it comes to video games, again, me being kind of a earlier in life gamer, a lot of those 8-bit soundtracks get really good to me. So yeah, the Mega Man stuff, especially that Mega Man 2 soundtrack, is like out of control awesome. Contra has an awesome soundtrack.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you like an RPG soundtrack.
I'm an RPGsman, and I think some of the most magical soundtracks of all time are some of those 90s Squaresoft RPGs. The Secret of Mana is the one that
Sleepy
comes to my
Town
first.
RPG.
Yeah, that's how those ballads sound to me. That Sleepy Time sound. Final Fantasy VII soundtrack is one of my all-time favorites. But actually, if I had to choose one to rule them all, video game soundtrack, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Wow, that's a good one.
Unbelievable. I will play that game just to listen to the music.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So yeah, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is probably my all-time jam of jams.
Nice.
But, you know, as far as movie soundtracks go, there's a million that I could choose from because I do love a talkie. A lot of my favorite flicks are horror flicks. So a lot of my favorites would be stuff like the Omen soundtrack.
Don't know it.
Dude, it's about the Antichrist. It's metal as fuck. It's awesome. It's got a really cool soundtrack. I love the Elm Street soundtrack. Anything John Carpenter, from like Halloween to like Christine, Mouth of Madness, all of his stuff I think just fits the movies perfectly. But as far as like out of the horror genre, I love the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
Yeah, it's really brilliant.
That's one of the all-time jam of jams. And dude, actually, the Home Alone soundtrack.
Oh yeah, when he's like running through the churchyard.
Yeah, dun, 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 dun. It's so like mischievous and magical sounding.
Yeah.
I really like the Home Alone soundtrack a lot. But yeah, I'm with you. All the classic Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Danny Elfman had some great ones.
Oh my god, dude, absolutely. So the Beetlejuice soundtrack.
Was it Sleepy Hollow? Did he do that one?
Yeah, which has an awesome soundtrack too.
It's really good.
Lots to choose from. It's hard to narrow it down, really. Okay, my man Eric Batson writes in and asks, do you eat string cheese by biting into it or pulling it apart?
Pulling it apart. I feel like biting into it are the same people that like take a Kit Kat bar and all 4 pieces and just bite a chunk.
I do that.
No way, dude.
My wife is like, why did I marry you? Dude, just chomp
Some
into
men
it.
want to watch the world burn.
I eat string cheese with a fork and knife.
Yeah, you do. On a plate.
Woo, mercy. That was a whole lot of questions to answer.
It's a whole lot of answers to questions.
Thanks to everybody who contributed to this series of very special Fact You with guest host Mr. Andy Wood. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ben Eller Guitars. Andy, if they wanted to track you down, where might they find you?
You can get me on Instagram at Andy Wood Music. You can get me on Twitter at A-Wood Shreds.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you can get the brand new Andy Wood Live at the Bijou album and concert video on iTunes, on an Amazon, on a Google Play.
All of it.
Pretty much everywhere. The choice is up to you, but you should definitely go and purchase it in audio and or beautiful.
Stunning high definition.
Stunning high definition video. It's a beautiful concert video in a historic Knoxville, Tennessee venue. Really gorgeous watch. My hair looks fantastic on it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe I was born with it. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.